Robin Hood's buddy appears.
Major superstar injured. I think I saw that one.
I think I did that quite well, actually. And another major superstar falls over. It's Brock Lesnar. Hello, welcome to Wrestle MSX. I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
And we open with the OTC in OKC. And after asking for acknowledgement, Cody Rhodes decides to head out. Rhodes asks Reigns what's in it for him to join WarGames, with Reigns saying he's been in this war and Cody's only just joining. He adds the pair don't like each other, but they don't play around when it comes to their families, and that half the team are his family and used to be in his bloodline. He says he's been invested in the Usos for a long time and is here to see that investment through. Cody understands, says welcome to my team, and then offers his hand to Roman. But the pair are interrupted by CM Punk. Punk asks the crowd to acknowledge us before saying that he saved Roman's life in last year's WarGames, and then said if you stab me in the back, you're stabbing your cousins in the back. Punk then says to Rhodes, who said it was your team, adding this is Monday night and here I'm the champ. Reigns says it doesn't matter whose team it is, he hates Paul Heyman and the Vision more than he hates them. He then says the title would look so much better on his shoulder before leaving the ring. Punk asks who he's talking to, but Reigns just laughs, says it's up to them to figure it out, and walks up the rampway. Does this mean he's coming back for a title shot? I think it's just a tease, I don't think he is.
We're cut to backstage with Paul Heyman pleading with Drew McIntyre to take things seriously and not to step out of line, as he has to take part in a WarGames Advantage tag match later. His partner is Logan Paul.
First up, Gunther versus Carmelo Hayes in the first quarter-final match of the Last Time Is Now tournament. I'll be glad when it's over, so I ain't got to keep saying it. Choppy choppy slap slap, followed by a powerbomb knee and springboard DDT net Mello a 2 count before he's chopped down by the ring general as we break. We have sleeper reversals with Gunther then back body dropping Hayes as he escapes another one.
A double underhook suplex gets Gunther a 2, with Hayes going for another sleeper and then countering a powerbomb from Gunther into a DDT as we break again. Hayes then lands a first 48 from nowhere, then goes high, but gets chopped down. Hayes ducks another chop by diving in the ring when on the apron, with Gunther chopping the ring post instead.
The pair then fight on the outside, with Gunther just about getting in the ring as the ref's count reaches 10. Back in the ring, Hayes lands La Mystica and looks for nothing but net, but Gunther avoids it and dows Hayes with a clothesline and powerbomb into cover. Hayes kicks out on 2, only for Gunther to hit another powerbomb and then cover for the victory.
Backstage we see the Usos telling the other 3 in their team that they'll be taking on McIntyre and Paul in the WarGames Advantage match, which makes sense as they were tag team champions.
Yeah, and you're not going to have your big guns out yet, are you?
Exactly.
Out next, Dominik Mysterio saying he's going to retire John Cena and take his Intercontinental title back. He then adds that Cena isn't here, but of course he is, with Cena then heading out. Barrett drops the how far away is Cena joke along with it's John Wiener, and he even has his own little Stu, the cameraman. Oh dear. Cena gets in the ring with Mysterio saying he's going to let him walk away as he's saving his energy. Cena says if you want some at Survivor Series, then come get some. Dom takes exception to this and proceeds to kick Mini John, land a 5-knuckle shuffle and 619, and then frog splash him. We then hear Booyaka Booyaka with Rey Mysterio heading out. Dom makes a sharp exit, making way for JD McDonagh to take on Daddy Mysterio in our next match. JD accompanied by Finn Balor.
Rey takes control to begin with until a tilt-a-whirl slows him. The pair exchange cover attempts, with the pair then going out the ring over the top rope, with JD then dropping Rey onto the announcer's desk as we break. Back in the ring, or rather the apron, Rey launches JD into the ring post before a kick to the head when back in the ring gets Rey a 2 count.
A Spanish fly gets JD a 2, with Rey then netting another 2. Rey then sets up a 619, but Balor trips him and then gets on the apron to argue with Rey. JD runs at Rey, but Rey's aware and trips JD, sending him crashing into Balor and also onto the middle rope. Rey lands a 619, drops the dime and covers for the victory.
Backstage we see Raquel Rodriguez looking for a title match, with Pearce saying he'll sort something out after Survivor Series, with the New Day then walking in and Pearce giving them a tag title shot next week.
Next we have the women's heel team for WarGames in the ring, with Lynch vowing to get her title back and then turning her attention to AJ Lee. Lynch adds she's assembled the greatest women's team ever. Lynch talks up her team, but is then interrupted by Rhea Ripley and co. The faces get in the ring, with Lee saying she doesn't need to bark like a chihuahua, she bites, adding she'll let the old AJ out when in the cage. Lee then hands the mic to Rhea, who smashes it in Jax's face, which inevitably opens the floodgates to a mass brawl. Flair and Ripley manage a crotch chop after sending Jax and Legend from the ring, with Sky then landing a moonsault to Team Evil, leaving Team Good victorious.
Out next, Solo Sikoa, with Talatonga taking on Penta in another quarter-final match of the Last Time Is Now tournament. Penta looks for a corner headstand gut kick, but Solo rolls out the ring, with Penta following. Penta is tossed over the crowd barrier, but then comes back with a head scissors from said barrier. Only upon landing, Penta lands funny and seems to injure his arm as we break.
We come back to the referee calling for the bell and the ring announcer declaring Solo as the winner, as Penta is no longer able to continue. Solo will now take on Gunther in one of the semi-finals, which, looking at the brackets, I'm finding this a little bit more exciting than what could have been. I mean, we don't know who was going to win this.
Very true.
Penta's injured. Solo's he's gone through automatically, but that sets up Gunther Solo, which I would enjoy seeing, or will enjoy more than Gunther Penta. Yeah. I just think.
I feel like Gunther. I don't know if it has been done, but I feel like Gunther Penta has been done.
It's probably because he fights high flyers.
But
you got two.
You wouldn't really think of
Gunther
Solo Gunther.
No.
So it's
two
quite
bad guys.
What would happen?
Like to have a bit of power. I'm looking forward to that one.
We have a clip of a woman's finger running round a brandy glass, followed with the text 4 days, which we think,
you think,
is a woman's WrestleMania trailer.
Which, good. Why not?
Yeah.
Backstage, we see Adam Pearce telling Dupri that he's never had so many calls for a shot at a title, with Maxine telling Pearce she's going to call Natalya. Ivy Nile then appears and tells Dupri that's her title before walking off, with Dupri then bumping into Roxanne Perez, who also shows interest in the women's IC title. Pearce comes back and suggests Dupri calls Natalya now.
We then have a vignette from Stephanie Vici saying she's Nikki, not as smart as she thinks she is, and will pay.
And I think she will. Last match of the night, the Usos against Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul in a WarGames advantage match. Jimmy dominates Paul, with Paul then diving out the ring to save himself from a 1D as we then hit a break. We come back to Jim recovering Paul for 2 and then tagging in Jay.
Jay slams Paul and tags Jimmy back in, covering for another 2 after a headbutt. Jay re-enters and goes toe-to-toe with Drew, who's tagged in, but gets punished by the Scottish Warrior, who gets 2 off a kick to the gut. Logan comes back in and knocks Jimmy from the apron before a standing frog splash gets him a 2-count cover. Paul then sends Jay to the outside, with Drew tossing Jay over the announcer's desk.
We come back from the break to see a double suplex from the heels to Jay, only for Jay to then counter a Claymore and tag in his brother. Jimmy takes Paul to task, lands an awkward looking crossbody and covers for 2. Paul then pulls out a blockbuster from the second rope and covers Jimmy for 2, with Big Jim then landing a super kick, spear and Uso splash. The cover only getting 2 as Drew breaks the pin.
Drew then lands a Glasgow kiss to Jay on the outside, with Bron Bronson then appearing, trying to rally Paul. As they do, Rhodes and Punk head out, with the 4 then fighting around the ring. Jay then launches himself out at the fighting group, with Jimmy cheering him on. As he does, Paul rolls him up from behind and steals the win, handing the advantage to Team Heel.
The fighting continues after the match, with OTC then heading out and dealing with all. The faces gather back in the ring and the credits roll. But we're not done yet, as the Beast Incarnate then heads out. Lesnar then falls over as he stomps his foot on the floor, with Heyman absolutely peeing his pants with laughter, and to be fair, we were too. The heels then head to the ring and get in, with the two factions then fighting as Raw eventually goes off the air. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I loved the Little John.
Yeah.
I liked Lesnar falling over.
It was like a full roll they did.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Well, that was to get out of it, because if he just stood up in there, just funny.
He rolled and got straight back up, yeah.
It was just... Hayes missed a move as well. I didn't really mention that. He dived out the ring and tried to do his DDT on the apron to Gunther, but he missed it and he wasn't happy, so he got back in the ring, dived out again.
Fair enough.
The crossbody by Jimmy, that I don't know what he was trying. It was a funny. He couldn't. I don't know if he got too much rotation or not enough, but that was funny. It was just. It was good for the wrong reasons.
Entertaining.
It was entertaining. Nothing horrible. It was just. It was just funny. Anyway, so now for Michael's moment, I've already given it away. Michael's moment tonight. It's going to be match, a line, a look, a promo, something funny, interesting, quirky, different, just something that catches my eye. Obviously, it has to wait until the end, because if I do it halfway through and it's something that happens at the end, it's kind of a spoiler. So Michael's moment of the night is Little John. No, not Robin Hood's Little John, but Little John Cena. If you want to disagree, that's fine, but it was funny. He had a good time. Dom had a good time. The crowd had a good time. We had a good time. What nearly stole it, and possibly does steal it, is Brock Lesnar falling over. You know, he does his dancing at the start. This is me dancing like Brock Lesnar, and then he slams his foot down. As he slammed his foot down, so you've got no grip on them
No.
work shoe, them boots. There's no grip. So he's slapped his foot down and he slipped over, and then he's done a backwards roll to get out of it, styling it out. Heyman absolutely wetting his pants. And Bron wants to laugh as well.
He did, yeah.
Unfortunately, everybody else was down at the ring, so they didn't see it, so they weren't really laughing. But Heyman absolutely wetting himself. But yeah, he was brilliant, brilliant.
Agree or disagree, or have any thoughts or views that you'd like to share with us, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Don't forget to go and check out our Muses video with thoughts and opinions of the last week of WWE, because a new one drops every Wednesday.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much for watching.
And we'll see you Wednesday for a look at this past week in WWE, Thursday for some WarGames predictions, Saturday for SmackDown, and Sunday for our full review of Survivor Series WarGames.
That's a hell of a busy week.
Busy.